Calling all around the world. Mumbo jumbo, stir up the gumbo. Calling all around the world. Get it. Start with a roux, that's me and you. Add the Holy Trinity. That's rhythm, chords, and melody. Come on now, add your spice. Tell your story, very nice. Calling all around the world. Stir that vocal gumbo now. Calling all stir it up, stir it up. Get it. Woo! Da 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 da. Listen, it's gonna get rowdy. It's gonna get big and bold. My whole front yard is gonna be covered.
It's very hopeful. It's hopeful. I mean, it's hopeful.
I'm so excited. Hi, girlfriend. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
We've been having a crazy week, have we not?
It's
getting everything ready for tomorrow night.
Yep. We're as usual. We're still knitting sweaters. we're still trying to get online. It's kind of This is still the dog and pony act.
Uploading, downloading, slide loading,
spinning balls. We're sick of
Carbo loading.
But we love it, and that's what production is. It's just one big fat race to the deadline.
It is.
And so we're almost there. I haven't stood up in 3 days or showered, but other than that,
you look fabulous.
Just keep
and
teasing.
I love your outfit.
I had enough time to.
Is that pasted to your sweater or
taped?
It's taped.
It's taped. Right. At least it's not, it's masking tape usually, which is the secret
that's
to
good.
all.
That's what I use.
All good decorators.
Yeah, that's how I make hems.
Exactly.
Because I failed sewing in high school.
Well, welcome to Vocal Gumbo Happy Hour. Those of you that are, Janice and I, this is what we do regularly is we just have Zoom calls. So actually, I forget that sometimes actually there are people here. We hope there are people here.
Yes, welcome. What are you drinking, Lauren?
Well, let me put down my sign.
Put down your sign. We
Sorry. I'm going to just do this the whole time. Go ahead.
I'll start. I'd like to throw out a big loving Vocal Gumbo shout out to Patty Van Santen for sending me this wine today. It is a Vouvray, a delicious white wine from France.
That sounds divine.
A cold white wine from France. So
mine is maybe not quite as sexy as yours, but it is from France and a nice rosé.
Yeah, you're a rosé girl, aren't you?
I like it, and it's summertime, even though the sun is behind the clouds today. So here's to our summertime friends out there. It might be cocktail hour for you, or just time to get a beverage on at any time.
Maybe a cup of tea, a nice cup of tea.
Yeah.
No. All right. Cheers.
Here's to you.
Oh, very nice. A little sweet. But with an acidic tang.
Very nice.
No, I'm kidding. Well, I am so excited to bring our good friend and fellow chef and musician friend, composer, pianist, bon vivant, raconteuress, musical director to the stars. Yeah. Maybe we can get some good dish out of her.
I think we will.
In many ways.
She's been a good pal of ours over the years, and then we sort of bonded over Vocal Mania, specifically just hanging and really getting a chance to hang out and chill. And you've done our cooking show, so
yes, that was fun.
We just thought everybody should get a real big bowl full of Vocal Gumbo, bowl full of Bette Sussman. So,
sweet with a little tang. It's sweet with a little tang.
Just like you.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, fancy.
Cheers. Fancy meeting you here.
Cheers.
What are you drinking, Bette? That looks like a vodka tonic, perhaps?
No, it's just vodka.
Oh, it's just vodka. Cheers.
I don't have, save the soda for the kids.
when in doubt, that's pretty much my go-to here. The vodka on the rocks.
Clean. It's clean. No hangover. Well, unless
It's
of course
true.
you overdo.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's clean. It's true. Where are you now? So we can
I am in Long Beach, Long Island, staying here while I have some little work done on my apartment. I figured now that we have to spend so much time in our homes, I might as well do some of that, that painting and fixing
Yes.
up that I wanted to do. So this is perfect time. I mean, you're in your house, for crying out loud. Just make it as comfortable as possible, right? And as beautiful as possible.
Well,
Absolutely.
yes, and as messy as possible. That's my motto.
I mean,
Well,
when we talked with you, like early on when the pandemic hit, I remember we all sort of gathered and had a happy hour with some, just fabulous, friends of all of ours. And we were all still kind of doe-eyed in that sense of like, yeah, it's a pandemic and we're cooking a lot and it's kind of weird, but like we're kind of embracing it. And now we're like, oh my God, it's a freaking pandemic, and we've all been through the mill. You've been through the mill, and so now this sort of doe-eyed sense of like, well, we'll kind of muscle through. It's kind of like we got to really keep digging in and getting real with it to make sure we continue to save lives.
it's kind of bizarre right now because it's like I got sick in April.
Right.
So I had a hefty little case of the COVID in April.
You did.
But that was when the East Coast was on fire.
Right.
Right. The
Yes,
East Coast,
yes.
New York, New Jersey, it was on fire. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we were bad.
we were the epicenter of the world.
Yeah.
And now we're like the healthiest group in the country, and like what was going on here, what we were manic about and so freaked out about is happening everywhere else in the country except here. So it's kind of bizarre to be watching the news and I can almost see that it was like how they felt when we were going through it all. They're like, what's all this hubbub about with this COVID? And it's like, yeah, we had the refrigerator trucks going down Fifth Avenue, it was bad. Anyway,
I remember too, like we had a couple of happy hours, and one afternoon,
yes, we did.
I was talking to Janis and I was like, have you heard from Bette? And she's like, I haven't heard from Bette. And and then you had kind of kept it a little low profile. And we were like, you want to get together? Like, we should see each other. And you're like, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I got the thing, and we were like, God damn it.
I did try and keep it, under the table.
Yeah.
Little on the down low because I just, I didn't. Everybody, I wasn't the only one with COVID. Everybody had fucking COVID.
I know,
Excuse me.
but I know. No, I know. But we're so glad that you're better. And do you feel like you've had sort of residual? Do you notice some residual things hanging around, or
a little bit? But it's not for this show.
Yeah, we're leaving that
no
right
problem.
at the
It's not for this show, but I do have some residual something going on. I think.
Okay.
Do you have antibodies now?
Oh, honey.
Oh, do I have antibodies?
Come on. Do I have antibodies?
I
had a lot of antibodies, and I had a shit ton of antibodies, and I gave my plasma. But nobody really knows anything about the antibodies and how long they protect you and if they protect you. I mean, I know there's people that have had COVID more than one time. There are people that have gotten it again. So
that's crazy.
I don't have any delusions that like I'm free and clear for the duration.
Yeah, I guess that's for the best to keep a bit vigilant.
I mean, I'm a little bit calmer than I was. I mean, I literally to walk 2 doors down in my building to go to take the garbage out, I would have my gloves and my mask on.
Yeah, me too.
But so I've calmed down a little bit. I'm actually in a house. I'm actually with my sister, and we're actually sitting around without masks inside.
Yes. Well, yes. I get
so that. What are we going to do? We're going to sit here. She and I are going to, so.
Yeah. But you kind of get your cohorts. It's not to be irresponsible, but it's just sort of you kind of checking in with each other. Like, well, what, how strategically conservative have you been? Because we've been this conservative. And,
right.
And so I think everybody's kind of, really, you just kind of have to answer for your actions a little bit and be on the upfront. But I'm glad you're with family.
Yeah.
And,
I'm glad you're feeling better and you're with family. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a couple of people, and it's always good to ask, what have you been doing? Have you had this? Or how vigilant have you been? But still, I've only met people outside, including Lauren.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's crazy. We're experiencing something that we've never, I mean, what we are living through between the last 4 years of super crazy and this, we're living through a time that whoever imagined that, there you go, that this could be. All I can tell you is that, go ahead. Let me see. Go ahead.
We're not gonna distract the audience at all.
No, not at all, because
you're not feeling dizzy.
Because we don't talk about this at all. We don't care about really what's going on. How much energy was there the other day when he announced Kamala?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think that was my first endorphin, shot of something that felt like hope. It felt like it went into my veins, and I went, that's what hope looks like. That's what it feels like. That's what we look like as a country, this pairing and this partnership. That's what it needs to look like. And that is something to wrap your whole heart around.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be, I think the orange one is flailing right now. He doesn't know what to do. No. He's pulling out this out of his ass. He's pulling this out of his ass. Yeah. And at this point, I just think it's all going to work against him.
Well, he's trying to close the post office.
Yeah,
that's right. And we're all going to go to the polls. And
I'm going to the polls.
I'm going to the polls.
Go.
I'll wear a hazmat suit.
I was all about the getting the application online. I even posted it. I was all about that. And now it's like, no, I don't care. I'm not going to. I'll wear a hazmat suit. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I will find a way to get in and get out. And
I'll wait in the rain. I'll wait.
It's kind of dumb though, isn't it? Kind of dumb because at this point now, the places that have COVID are his epicenter. Texas, Florida, Arizona, these places are Oklahoma. These are Trump. This is Trump land. Why he is trying to deter his own people from voting. He's just so scared. It's like somebody should just sit him down and say, listen, orange crazy monster, there's going to be an election whether you like it or not. I know you don't want to have an election because you don't want to have to lose and go back to New York and face our what's her name?
Our judicial system.
Letitia.
Oh, yeah. James. She's another one. She's another one. You're just like, there it is. There's
that's
hope.
it.
There's the future. Queen coming down the lane. No man has even bothered to said, I'm coming in hardcore for the NRA. It's that queen. I'm out of my mind.
I just hope that this is this is showing some of the dumb people that women are so much smart. Some women are smarter. They're less emotional. I mean, we're emotional in normal life. When it comes to smarts and being, look at Nancy Pelosi, for crying out loud.
Queen.
She's just the bomb. She's so smart. So much fun. Yeah, it's so much fun.
I think it's the age of the woman. I think we're going to come into the age of the woman. And I think that's really thrilling. And that's going to invite so much conversation to the table that has been sort of kept outside of the door. And it's going to come and we're going to deal with a bunch of stuff. And, it's going to be good.
It's about time.
It's about time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so exciting though. But so what you've got this, your Bette's Diner, and that's been so great. And Janis, you guys did the show. So what the hell kind of mischief did you two get into?
Oh, we got into some serious mischief. I went up to Bette's apartment, and she had everything, all the cameras and lighting set up around her stove in her kitchen, and we cooked lamb. We stuffed a leg of lamb with
you did
with Swiss chard and pine nuts and raisins, I believe, and garlic. That was yummy. And then you whipped up a couscous thing.
And then we did a couscous thing with it. Yeah. We had a whole meal. And then of course we had the wine, of course.
We had wine and we sang the song.
And then we had the music. But the thing that's so cool is that, I mean, Janis and I had known each other Am I look? Can you? Does it look like I'm looking at you now?
I have no
Yes.
idea because I can't see you because I have to wear glasses in order to see. So
Yeah.
I think
Oh, you're not wearing glasses? Oh, see, I'm
Well,
wearing glasses
I
because.
can wear, but I have to do that. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh, let's all do it.
I'm not wearing glasses because I'm
You look
nearsighted.
good. Oh, you look great.
So,
We have such similar glasses too.
yeah,
Len.
you really do.
These are my Mrs. Magoo glasses.
Oh, well, I guess these are my Mrs. Magoo glasses. Anyway, so Janice and I had met each other like here and there at a gig somewhere at Birdland or whatever, but we had never hung out. So, but I had been watching online and seeing, oh my God, this woman is as crazy about in the kitchen as I am. She's as crazy about food, food as I am. So, I got to get her up here. This is perfect. So, first meeting. That was our first meeting. Our first real hang was Bette's Diner, and we had such a ball. We really had a ball. It was so great, and we've become such good friends since then.
It was love at first sight. What can I say?
We've become besties since then. It's not not bestie like you, Lauren, but we've become good friends.
Listen, when you meet women and people, but particularly when you really feel an affinity and like a connection with someone. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And I think I treasure even as our time has progressed too. I'm like, that woman, she is a badass. She's a queen, from afar, but it's fun to be on the inside of that.
I know. And it's so great that after all these years that we're still meeting new friends and new musical compatriots. And, and I have, I have nothing but like respect, the utmost of respect for both of you guys. I mean, you guys, you bitches are totally cool, man.
But listen, we're all winging it. We're all still improvising this whole career. But
we are.
You went to
and now
school,
even more,
right? You actually said I'm going in. I'm going to go study with the. I don't know. Where did you study?
I went to the Peter Kump School, which is now which is
that's
now
that's old school. That's like James Beard or something.
It's now called the International Culinary Education or something like that on 23rd
Street. Is it ICE?
ICE, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was Peter Kump.
Not that ICE.
No, not that ICE. No.
ICE.
But I took. I didn't take a full semester or anything. I took like different classes. Like the first class I took was 1-day class, and it was on soups and stocks and knife techniques. Oh. If I tell you that was with a woman named Amanda Cushman, who's amazing.
Put the knife down. Put the knife down, Lauren.
I'm going to tell my daughter that I can hear her talking wherever she is. I have no idea.
Oh, she's texting.
I don't know what. No, she might actually be talking to someone in real time, which is.
I can hear that.
I can hear her too.
I can hear her.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, so
go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to seek out the.
And then I took a 20-hour class of techniques in French cooking. And that was 4 5-hour classes, and we were set up in like groups of like.
It's just my family listening to our show in the other room, so that's just us interrupting us.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. That's superb. It's us interrupting us.
Huh?
Knife skills. Can we talk about knife skills?
Knife skills are.
That's the most important class, I think.
It's the most important class, although I must say, if you looked at the tips of my fingers,
I know.
You wouldn't know that I took a class because I've had so many stitches on my fingers I did one with a mandolin.
Oh, ouch.
My first, but it was my first time using a mandolin, and I was I was using a zucchini, so I didn't use the thing because it was long.
Oh.
But I didn't realize that once you get down there, your finger is just hanging in it. Yeah, it's bad.
You got to respect the mandolin.
Yeah,
you got to respect the mandolin, Janice. Can we toast to the mandolin?
Yeah,
I'd like to take it
to the mandolin. Everything is backwards on this. All right,
I know.
To the mandolin.
Did you ever notice that when you're watching a piano player playing on the interweb?
Yeah.
And their right hand is doing what the left hand is doing. It's backwards. It's reversed.
So the right hand is doing the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could play with you.
I never noticed that actually.
Oh, okay. Watch the next time you watch somebody play on the interweb.
Okay. I will now.
It's crazy.
Can we get back to fabulous bitches that you've worked with?
Oh,
yeah.
I have worked with some fabulous bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I have, I have to say that I have been blessed in my career. I've had a wonderful, wonderful career. And somehow, I just have this magnetic force toward, crazy bitches. Crazy singing bitches.
I know, but Bet, you broke in so young.
So not only do I have the music thing, but I also have developed a little bit of a degree in psychology.
Yeah, you got to.
Are you kidding me? You have got to know how to
Oh,
talk.
my.
You've got to know how to talk to people.
And as a musical director, certainly, it's a slippery slope, I would imagine.
Well, but that's what makes you good. It's a slippery slope. Is that that's what makes you good. It's like you go out of your way to make the artist feel that it was their idea.
Ooh. Pro tip.
Number 1,
make it look like it was the artist's idea.
right? You don't have to cut your fingertip off to get that one. Yeah, that's great.
No.
But you also have to really manage all the dynamic in the band, right? So you're navigating rhythm section and whoever the back line is or whoever the background singers are, and you're managing front line. You're managing all this energy, and you have to be someone who not only reads your ass off, plays your ass off, but then you're a kick-ass performer. You're someone you know how to perform when it's time to step up, but then you know how
Thank you, Lauren.
This person that's just like, I'm holding down the whole, I'm holding all this down.
And you're responsible.
And you have to think on your toes.
Yeah.
Totally. When I worked with Bette Midler for 11 and a half years on the road. Oh,
there she is.
Oh, that was one of my better introductions. That was the Kiss My Brass tour, which we did in the mid 2000s, like 2005. That's what it was called, Kiss My Brass. And that was the most fun I ever had on a tour, ever.
Why? Tell us why.
What
was it about that?
Bette loved the show, and she loved the show. She came in on a horse. It was like on a carousel horse, and she just and it just the music was great. The songs we picked were great. The show was great. Tony Basil, who has worked with us. Tony Basil worked with her since the 70s. But
we found out about Tony through Bette, actually. Transfer did, because we worked with Basil for years.
You did?
Yes. Oh yes.
What? Tell me about that. Tell me about you guys in Basil.
Oh my God, she did. When Cheryl came in. When we put together the whole extension show for that first record that Cheryl was on, she did that whole show. She had us on a ramp, and I was singing on my back on the floor, and I was in bed with for Twilight Zone in a raked bed. It was a bad dream, and I was wearing pajamas with knee pads, and it was pretty great. We adore Tony Basil.
Yeah, Tony is, she is very special. She's not always the easiest to work with. I adore her. I have the most respect for Tony Basil.
Oh yeah, she's still kicking it. She's
a genius. When I look back at these shows that I've done with Bette as the musical director, and I look at the videos and I see what she has done, it's she's really just contributed so much to these shows. The visuals are amazing.
It's amazing to have productions like that. I mean, really, the whole idea of having a really big road show go out.
Yeah.
And have really thoughtful, staging and choreography, and people looking at the overall vision, and an artist really caring about the vision. And also, I think what you were just saying about it was the most fun. It's because like the artist was so passionately happy about their work. And so how is that not contagious for the band and for an audience?
Well, it was a fun band.
Who was in the band?
It was a great group of people. Let's see, who was in that band? That band was Sonny Emery on drums, Lenny Castro on percussion.
Oof.
Wow.
Taku Hirano on percussion. Who was on bass on that gig? I want to say Tom Barney, but I don't think it was Tom Barney. I want to say maybe it was Zev Katz. No,
Oh,
it wasn't.
Zev?
He did.
Wow.
He did. Zev did one. Zev did one. I think Zev did one bit of that tour. He did
Zev
one.
played on my very first record. I
He's
love
so-
his.
No
I,
kidding.
He's so
I
wonderful.
love his sound. The bottom of his sound is like.
And if you know Zev's personality, so you can only imagine how Zev and Bette were. They're very both very much intellectuals, and so their humor. She actually got him because he can be dark. Zev can be a little dark. We know that Zev can be a little dark, but Bette totally got it, and he was great. But Sam Sims played on the second leg of that tour. Sam Sims on bass, and on guitar was Mike Miller, and
yes, Mike Miller.
John Harrington.
Okay, who were there? Harlettes?
And the Harlettes were Camila Marshall, Kira DaCosta, and Nicolette Hart.
Okay. I knew the first Harlettes, the first group of Harlettes, of course.
Oh yeah, Charlot. Linda Hart, and those guys.
Gail Cantor.
Oh right.
Yeah, right. Just for people that maybe don't know, who else have you worked with? Can we just enumerate that?
Sure. I spent before I joined Bette's group. I toured with Whitney Houston for about 11 and a half years. Yeah, that's our first, I believe that was our first trip to Japan.
Oh my God.
Because I can tell that's the Capitol Tokyo Hotel.
That is the Capitol Tokyo. Oh my God.
That's the Capitol Tokyo Hotel, right? So that was amazing. And before working with Whitney, I was Sissy's musical director. And Whitney, so I go way back with Whitney. She sang backgrounds with Sissy. She and her brother Gary, who later went on tour with her as well. They sang backgrounds with Sissy. So we had a blast working with Sissy. I got a real education from Sissy Houston on gospel and pop, and she was an African American woman who picked white boy songs. She would come to me with Neil Diamond songs, Neil Sedaka songs, and I'm like,
spice this up.
I'm like, who are you, and what have you done with
Sissy Houston?
With Black Sissy? Where's Black Sissy? Anyway,
she probably added a deep dimension to those tunes.
She was brilliant. Sissy was a brilliant singer. I don't know if you ever checked her. You should at some point go on the YouTube.
Go down the rabbit hole of Sissy Houston.
Go down the rabbit hole of Sissy. She was pretty amazing.
I'm sorry. When I was at Berkeley, though, we were all studying all those background vocals and the Luther Vandross world and because she was in that world. And so I remember all of us were so inside of the style and the way in which it felt like, you're merging R&B, classical, gospel, spinny vibrato, healthy mix. And this whole thing, we were all in the woodshed going, what are they doing? And how do we make that sound come out of our throats and our mouths? And so I remember really, because that was my era, the 80s, I was that's where I was really a student.
Yeah, me too.
And she was really a queen. And they were making a lot of really beautiful music and a lot of really sophisticated singing and rhythmic singing. I mean, it's all just so
great. Sissy is the queen of that. She's the queen, and she's amazing. And before there was a club. There used to be a club in New York called Sweetwater's. Do you remember
yes,
Sweetwater's?
Totally.
Sweetwater's, and I used to play there. I played there with Sissy. I played there the night that Clive, discovered Whitney. And
that was an R&B club, basically.
Yeah,
right?
it was R&B supper club.
Yeah,
it was a great club on Amsterdam Avenue, in the '60s. Great club. I played there with Esther Marrow, who was a gospel singer, Sarah Dash, Peggy Blue. Somehow I found my way, and it must have been through Sissy that I found my way to all these Black women who I ended up playing with, and I learned so much, I told Sissy, as a matter of fact, I remember going to the after thing after Whitney's funeral, and I went to Sissy and I said, I hope I don't think you do, because we haven't spoken. I hadn't seen her because I left Whitney's group in '99, so I hadn't seen her. I saw her one time. She came to a SAG a singers party up at SAG, and I said to her, I said, you are such a big part of my education, as a musician, as a player, as in a genre of music that I listened to the right music. I always listened to the right music, and we're so lucky, that we, growing up in this time and, being the ages that we are, we're not that far apart. I know the three of us are not that far apart,
No.
but, we lived through the 70s, like the best R&B, like the best bands in New York. Right?
Yeah.
That used to play up at McKell's, whether it was Stuff and
what was the place on Lone Star?
The Lone Star.
On Fifth Avenue?
Yes.
Lower,
with the iguana. With the iguana on the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing James Brown there. I saw James Brown at that place. It's amazing.
Wow.
You guys both grew up in Manhattan.
No.
Or you're from Brooklyn, Janice, but
yes.
you went to college at Oberlin, right? But did you actually finish?
No, hell no. Hell to the no. I lasted 1 year at Oberlin. I was not, I got in there. I played classical my whole life, since I was 4.5 years old. I studied classical music. And in high school, so toward the end of high school, I never played in rock bands in high school, but I played in the chorus and, accompanied, the chorus and stuff like that. But I finally started to write songs. I listened to music in high school. I started to listen to music. My influences, I listened to Leon Russell and that was, Leon Russell was my influence, and Chris Stainton and, all these amazing rock piano players. And then there was Aretha, who was,
right.
who we all listened to as singers, because I do a little bit of singing as well, but, we all listen to Aretha as singers, but, how many people know that are not inside know what an incredible piano player she was.
Right.
Incredible player.
Right.
I learned a lot from listening to her. What did I go off subject?
I think
no.
I think you hurry. I think what sometimes is interesting is, like, we have so many of our young generation they're all going off to these, the 4-year college education, which is really, really, really great. But there's this all their spirit that you had, that you were like, listen, I got what I need here. I'm actually going to get on my bike and get going and study with that person, figure out that. And you probably had equal parts talent and tenacity.
Well, I definitely had I definitely had the tenacity.
Yeah.
I had some talent, but I left. I'd heard about a teacher that I wanted to study with in New York from a friend of mine when I was sort of having a little nervous breakdown in Oberlin at my first year.
Right.
I didn't like it there. I was, Oberlin was great. I got in there. I played a classical audition because that's what I was fortunate in who I got to audition for at Oberlin.
Right.
But but I was a performance major. I wasn't trying to be a teacher.
Was Oberlin more classically oriented then?
Yeah. When I was there, was the first year they had a jazz program.
I see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wendell Lewis.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who did you want to study with in New York?
Sanford Gold.
And did you?
Silence. Sanford Gold. Sanford Gold. I'll tell you who Sanford Gold was. Okay. Sanford Gold was the band. You guys were worried that we were going to have anything to talk about?
No, we don't have anything to talk about. Is everyone having a nice time out there? We haven't even gotten to recipes yet.
Yeah, Sanford Gold. Let me tell you about Sanford Gold. Sanford Gold, because I just want to tell you about Sanford Gold. Sanford Gold, because this is an important part of who I became as a musician. Sanford Gold he was Eartha Kitt's musical director. He was the musical director and the piano player for the Ed Sullivan Show. He lived with Art Tatum. He came up in the Bird era in New York. Now, when I met Sanford had been it was a junkie. He smoked 3 packs of Camel non-filters a day, had a lung removed, was an alcoholic. This guy was
the one I want to study with.
So he didn't smoke cigarettes or drink anymore, but he smoked pot and he did blow. But Sanford what Sanford did for me was he universalized music. He would like, he insisted when I came back from Oberlin, even though, because I sort of got into jazz when I was in Oberlin. I met a guy, a trumpet player there that I became good friends with. We would go into Cleveland and go to the jazz clubs, and and so I sort of got into jazz there. And I was really into Bill Evans. Was my first love, as Brahms is one of my favorite composers for piano. So Sanford would he would have me like transcribing a solo or playing a Bill Evans solo from one of his books. And he'd say, okay, you see what you're doing there? Open up your Brahms Rhapsody, page 86. Look at the second step and the third and the fourth bar. And there was the same diminished scale.
Oh my goodness.
That was in the Bill Evans solo.
I get it.
He just said, listen, music is it's what you choose to do with it. It's all the same. Everybody wants to compartmentalize it, but it's really basically all the same.
There are bridges everywhere.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful story. And what a lesson. What an amazing overriding lesson that is.
Yeah, it was big.
People are enjoying this conversation with you. They should know that we have been doing these conversations 2 a month to every musical segment, because we feel like we want to hear from extraordinary people, and we want to talk about the issues, and we want to talk about anything we want to talk about. And they can, they're well within their rights to buy a ticket for tomorrow night's show, right, Janice?
That's right.
Won't you please buy a ticket for their show tomorrow night?
But the thing is, tomorrow night is much more musically oriented, and we don't really talk all that much.
Well,
Will you talk about that while I go get my computer charger?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the prequel to
this is the prequel, and where we actually talk to people and really get a little deep with them in the talking area. But I'd like to plug tomorrow night's show, because we have a really international group of people. We have from the country of Finland, we have vocal group Riotan. One of my favorites, one of Lauren's favorites. We have Antonio Sanchez and Tana Alexa improvising their faces off. We have from Japan, we have Enka singer Mikashino and Kai Kitamura. We have from Tucson, the lovely and talented Ann Hampton Calloway. From Oakland, California, you're not going to believe the sound of Kenny Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. And from Singapore, we have the delicious and honeyed voice of Alame Fernandez. Our young artist is Emma Sundvig, and the instrumentalists that are joining us are also incredible. Andy Ezrin, John DiMartino, Leah Traversa, Vince Cherico, and Jim Kimo West from Hawaii, who joined me on a tune, and he's playing slack key guitar and steel guitar. So that's tomorrow.
That's amazing. What a great band. What an interesting, it's a different band for you guys. I love it. Andy and Leo and
but they're not playing. They're playing on selected things. I mean, some things are a cappella. Actually, Riotan is a cappella, and they're coming to us from Finland, where they are all already doing concerts. Apparently,
they are.
Yes.
Tell me about the 2 Japanese women.
Okay, it's a man and a
woman.
Mikashino is an Enka singer. An Enka is a very specific style of Japanese singing that's more emotional, with a lot more melisma. So it's almost, and the songs are very specific. Songs about love, forbidden love, about hope, about sadness. It's almost like the blues, the Japanese blues.
Oh, wow.
And Mikashino is the most famous Enka singer in Japan. And we've paired her like a fine wine with Japanese mouth drummer Kai Kitamura, who sings with the idea of North usually, but we snagged him.
What does that mean? The idea of North?
The idea of North.
It's a vocal group.
Okay.
But Kai has a gift of doing mouth percussion, not like, I mean, beatboxing is great, but he's got this finesse.
He's got jazz mouth drumming,
like Bobby
McFerrin.
Yeah, McFerrin.
No.
because he's not. Well, he does sing bass, but his brushes work and finesse is so subtle and beautiful.
It's like Lewis Nash in the mouth.
Right.
Oh wow.
Pretty damn good, ladies. But
Ladies.
ladies, straighten up. So what else did you cover? Did you cover everybody? I mean,
I didn't cover. I would I would love to. I mean, there's like there's like people like Michael Franks and Christine Ebersole, who is an incredible Broadway star, and she comes to me to put shows together for her that are off the Broadway. Like she works with Billy Stritch and another piano player, Fred Hirsch, I think maybe Fred Hirsch.
Yeah.
That do like more of her legit stuff, and then she loves vocal harmonies, and she's a great
singer,
and she loves pop songs, and she's amazing.
She's a great singer.
She's amazing. So I've done a number of shows with Christine, and I adore her. And I did a tour with Cyndi Lauper a couple of years.
That probably wasn't any fun, was it?
That was fun.
Bet you were on the kick-ass tours. Like you were on the freaking tour bus and the plane and the really great like backstage green room and the really nice hotels and the like you did.
Yeah, I'm slumming now, baby.
Listen, you're enjoying what we. Well, listen, I can't speak for Manhattan Transfer because you guys certainly have been on the top of the wave and had the experience.
We had some times.
Yes.
But I want to talk to you, Bet, about some recipes.
Yeah.
Like what are your go-to recipes during this period? Like I know that you are the curry queen, for instance.
I do. Oh, look at that.
I want that.
Okay, that's a shrimp and vegetable curry. That's
Can
a
you
shrimp and vegetable curry.
Please describe more.
Okay, so there's a company called I think it's called Maestre, Miestre, I think is what the company's called, and they make cans of they make curry pastes. Now you can make your own curry paste. There's like green curry, there's green curries, there's red curries, there's massaman curries. There's all different. There's many different Thai curries.
Dropping one.
Did I just say that?
Yeah, you did. You did.
He said fucking Thailand the other day. That's all I just want to say. He said Thailand.
He did say Thailand.
He did say Thailand the other day.
He said a lot of stupid things.
Yeah. But Thailand was one of them. So
I didn't hear that one. Wow.
Oh yeah, he said Thailand.
Okay.
He did something else too.
He did something else that was
Yosemite.
Yes. Yosemite.
Yosemite, and then he corrected himself. Yoseminite. Genius.
Please, I'm losing my appetite. Go back to the curry.
Go back to the curry in a hurry.
So I have a new. I'm doing. Right, we talked about before that we met like we're doing Bette's Diner, which was an idea that I've had for like 25. I've had the idea since I was with Whitney, so that's a long time ago.
Yes.
Okay, so basically Bette's Diner, what it was, the first season was that I had a guest, like Janis was a guest. I would do my research on her, and then I would find a song to play her on with. So we'd play on the song, and I would do the introduction. I would talk about her, blah blah blah, and then play her on. She'd come into my little kitchen, and
it's Manhattan.
It is Manhattan, but it's a mighty kitchen.
Yes.
It's mighty.
Small but mighty. Yes.
It's small but mighty. Okay, I just lost my train of thought.
Well, you invited Janis. You picked a tune, and you did your research on her.
Did my research on her, and then we talked beforehand about what we wanted to cook, and so we decided to cook. She says, "Have a lamb dish." So we started on the dish, and then so we cooked. I talked to her, I interviewed her a little bit, and then we cooked the meal, we cooked the thing, blah blah blah, and then we go over to the piano and we did a song. Janis, sang, I played, I sang a little background with her, and it was a beautiful love fest. And then we sat down and ate the food with wine. So that's what Bette's Diner originally was to have me and a guest. Okay, so
then the pandemic strikes.
So now there's a plague, and you can't be within 20 miles of another person.
Right.
So I said, okay, so I got to do something here. I'm home. I'm in my kitchen. I can't go out and play gigs. So let me find another way to do Bette's Diner. And what I thought about was, because I used this is back to the curry. This is related
I know
to
you're
the curry.
circling back.
I'm circling back. I'm
to
circling back, but I'm talking about the
curry.
show, which was that people saw the food and they loved the way the food looked. And I'm cooking for one. So I feel like we're all the queen or the king of our castle, whether we're alone or whether we have a family. And whether you're alone or you have a family, you deserve to eat well. Just because you're alone doesn't mean that you just go and you throw a salt and pepper on a chicken breast and throw it in the pan. It's like, no. And particularly now when we have time, take some time to learn how to cook.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm going to talk about on my new season of Bette's Diner, which is going to be about cooking for one. So I'm sorry that I'm going back, but I'm getting to the curry. So so this next season is going to be cooking for one. And basically my theory is, I mean, you see my food. So everybody says, oh my God, that looks so good. That's for me. So I'm not afraid to spend any time. Like people go, okay, I need to do what's easy. What's easy? It's like, why? Are you pressed for time now?
That's good point.
Nobody's pressed for time. And I feel like people want to learn how to cook these different things. And all you need to do is find a few key pantry ingredients for each ethnic division of ethnic genre of foods you want to cook. So all you need is a few extra pantry items that you could have. So if you want to cook a little Japanese food, you'll have some mirin, you'll have some light soy, you know. If you want to cook Chinese, you're going to have the Zhaojing, the Chinese cooking wine, and soy sauce and oyster sauce. And then
what about for Thai?
And now for the Thai, you're going to have
Thai.
You're going to have if you want to make a curry, you get these little cans, and if you get it in a bottle, it's wrong. If you get, although I know that my friend Emily, who is a great cook, and I think that she says that the brand that I use is GMO, which I didn't realize it was. But I go to this store called the H2. What is it called? Up on 110th and Broadway. There's an Asian
way
market.
Out of my neighborhood.
H Mart. It's called the H Mart.
Okay.
H Mart, and it's an Asian market. It's incredible. You get all these Asian produce and Asian products, and they have a different brand that's good as well. Comes in a little can. So curry paste, kaffir lime leaves,
yes,
fish sauce,
yes,
Thai basil. Although any recipe that you make with Thai basil, if you can't find Thai basil, you can make with basil.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so tiny little different flavor. So it's just about having different, just a couple of different pantry items. And like that curry takes 20 minutes to cook. Basically, That's all it takes. You slice up some onions, you put about maybe half a can of the curry paste in you start to saute your onions, you put the curry paste in, then and coconut milk. That's another ingredient.
That's the thing. I have to have coconut milk in my pantry all the time, whether it's just it makes me feel like everything just got swinged up a little bit more. If I add a little bit of that coconut milk to either my sauce or my rice, I'm like, oh no, I just actually danced with myself for dinner now. We're good.
Yeah, these little items. It's like in like tomato paste, right? You have Italian tomato paste. That just doesn't have to be for we're making a tomato sauce. You can put tomato paste in a braise if you're doing like a chicken, like a stew. That'll just deepen the flavors.
Like a chicken Marengo, you could make it. I used it for chili last night. Black bean chili. I mean, a black-eyed pea chili. That's all I had in the house, and it turned out great.
It's New Year's at Janis's.
Yeah, Hoppin' John chili.
Do you make that on New Year's Day?
I made it once. It came out really well. It's supposed to be good luck, right?
I've never made a black-eyed pea on New Year's Day, but I understand
I made Hoppin' John.
That's what the people do.
I have a recipe for it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I came across a couple of recipes. I have one. This is handwritten. I actually wrote it down as I was making it. It's called Sauce Tini Gabrielito. I named it after my son.
Of course.
But it's a mango sauce. that I used for foie gras. When I actually had a gig and made some money, I had foie gras for dinner one night.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a mango sauce that uses dried and fresh mango. So the dried mango gives it depth. You know, you add star anise and cinnamon and clove. You know, and then you add like orange juice, shallots, lemon zest, ginger, peelings, and I even added some veal demi-glace.
Well,
Why not?
Why exactly? What would be bad about that
Just deepen.
addition?
Well,
Yeah.
don't you find that all in all of our
Look
travel?
at my hair is curling like this.
It's
It's
just-
so humid here. I'm looking.
I need a haircut and a hair color. It's out of control.
What's wrong with your color? Nothing.
Oh, hello.
No, you're far away.
All right, I'm far.
Listen, I feel like all of our travels have inspired the way we all cook and the way we think about food.
Yes.
I feel like I cook the way I play music or think about music, where there's the rules and then there's whatever the hell is in my pantry and whatever.
Improv.
Yeah, the improv is really exciting for me, but I'd be curious to know, like, what is a meal that you made that was inspired by some like midnight, 3 a.m. meal that happened after a show that you were like, I tasted something and I had to go home and recreate it.
I can't. I can't think of that. I can't think of that. I can only think of a dish that I had once. I can only think of it. Well, I'm sure that I had a curry once, and that's what made me go home.
Right.
Well, actually, okay, I was in Thailand.
See?
I was in Thailand, and I was up in Chiang Mai. I was doing. Dun, dun. I was in the Thailand, and I mean, when I've been there a couple of times, and the last time I was there was really more of an education in food for me. The last time I went there on an Avon gig.
What?
What?
Listen, I used to do a lot of.
You've done a lot of things in your career.
A lot of industrials, which now let me just tell you that my income has been cut 100% from them. Okay. So, but we used to go, like, you know, I went with Avon to Thailand. We went to Singapore. We went to Bali, Paris. Anyway, but we went to Thailand, and we were staying up in Chiang Mai. And then I said, as long as I'm here, I'm going to take I've always been interested in going to Phuket. So I said, I was on a break from the Midler tour. And I said, I've got time. As long as I'm here, let me just go. I'm going to go to Phuket for 10 days. So I went to Phuket. I booked this place by myself.
It's on the beach, right?
Oh yes,
yeah.
It was a private resort, and the manager was Italian. The manager was Italian. So here's a Thai place with an Italian. So they had a pizzeria on the beach. The Thai food was just insane. The food was insane, and so I did a little inquiring while I was there, and I would try these different dishes, and I learned. And then I would go and I would look online and I would look at the ingredients and I'd see what was in them. Like that I don't know if you saw the other day, I made this chicken dish on that I posted on Facebook. And it's got some crazy it's got a really crazy kind of almost a little slightly vulgar name. And
tell us the name.
Slightly vulgar?
Let's have it.
It's like pad. I can't think of it. I can't say it. But it's basically it's chicken basil. But if you go to most Thai restaurants in Manhattan won't serve you the chicken basil like this. Thai Market up on 107th and Amsterdam will serve it to you correctly. And what it is, it's ground chicken, and it's made with Thai chilies, like many Thai chilies, which are super hot. Yes. Many Thai chilies and much garlic.
Yes.
And then you add this ground chicken. And then you use there's a great Thai product called a sweet soy sauce that they use that's incredible. Kaffir lime leaves, which are incredible. And I bet I'm going to start to mess around with kaffir lime leaves in other ethnic cuisines because it's such an amazing. It's an amazing aromatic.
Yeah.
Really
so what would you use it for instance? Would it work in Italian food? Would it work in Chinese food? Would it work?
I'm sure you could use it in Italian, in Chinese food, and it would just turn it into.
Yeah,
But I'm
Chinese.
curious,
even
like what it
Mexican
would
food.
do to like a tomato sauce.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Like
mean,
you know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
we have time.
Whatever.
Why not
Let's
mess
play.
around?
Why not mess around?
Why not play a little bit?
why
Yeah.
don't you play?
Why don't you play a little bit? In fact, wait, hold the phone.
Oh my God!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Whoa! What a segue!
Wait a minute. I have one more proposition, because everybody needs to know that at the end of this happy hour, we need to sell enough tickets so that we'll do a shot. So I
Yeah,
think
we're going to do a
only
shot
fair.
of whatever if we sell
It's
25
handy.
tickets.
So
That's tequila.
I think people should know, first of all, we're going to have the Queen of all Queens play something for us, and sing something for us. And you should know that we should be honoring that with buying tickets and showing your appreciation for her words of wisdom and her gifts. And so this is getting ready for the big show tomorrow night. So what do you think? What do you have in mind for us? Because I'm gonna be watching the ticket sales right now. I'm gonna be like, ding ding, every time someone buys a ticket. I'm all business right now.
All right, and I'm going to put on my Vocal Gumbo mask.
Oh, I'm gonna do it too then.
I want one. No,
We're
I'm
gonna-
confused. What am I supposed to do? Something? You want me to do a backflip? Take off my top?
I want
What?
no. I want you to sing a song and
Oh.
play. Would you?
All right. I would absolutely love to. And I'm gonna sing a song that's very new. It's very new to me. During this COVID thing, somebody that I met, well, I did Waitress, the musical Waitress on Broadway. I subbed for as the musical director and the piano player on Waitress. And I had the good fortune to do it with the wonderful Jessie Mueller and Nick Cordero. Nick Cordero, who was incredible. He was incredible in this show. And Nick Cordero was a Tony nominee for Blood.
Bronx Tale?
No, he wasn't. It wasn't the nominee for that. Bullets Over Broadway.
That's
the nominee for that. Anyway, so Nick, unfortunately, we talked about COVID in the beginning and me getting COVID. I recovered from COVID. Nick fought really, really, really hard. I mean, and who knows why he got it? We don't know why he got it.
And he's so young.
40. He was,
was 41.
41 years old, and had a beautiful wife, Amanda Klutz, new baby, the most adorable kid. And this guy suffered for so long, was in the hospital for over 90 days.
Yeah, 95 days is what I read somewhere.
Yeah. But, so he did a record, before all of this happened, before COVID, he did a record. And Amanda, like while Nick was in the hospital, she did this thing where at 3 o'clock LA time, 6 o'clock East Coast time, everybody would play, they would all play this song of his from his record called Live Your Life. And it's such a meaningful lyric. And so it became like, and she used to talk about how Nick wanted to be a rock star. And little did he know that he became a rock star while he was laying in a bed, dying, like with COVID. And, but I loved the song, and I'm going to give it my own twist to it. And
we're going to remember him in the way that musicians know how to pay homage to our fellow compatriots, is just remembering them and the music that they created.
Yeah, it's just so incredibly sad that Nick passed, and I just wanted to, when you told me that we were going to do this, I said I want to do a song that's meaningful and something that reflects something important.
Yeah.
And was written by this guy who's unfortunately not here to hear.
We can dedicate this to his memory and to all who are suffering.
The song is dedicated to Nick and Amanda and all the people that are still suffering from COVID, which is a beast. So, I'm going to sing this song for you, and I'm going to take my headphones out for a minute so I can do it without the headphones. like hell, but it feels right. As far as I can tell, you've made your mind. I wish you well, but won't be on the other side, biding my time. Live your life. You got your plans, and I got mine. Who understands how stars align? If one shouldn't pass, then I'll consider it a sign that you're still alive. Live your life. Live your life. And it's alright. Live your life. Like you got one night. Live your life. I learned the rules from a friend of mine. Don't suffer fools and you'll be fine. Just be yourself, you might get slapped like it's a crime. Don't you bat an eye. Live your life. 'Cause it's alright. Live your life. Like you got one night. Live your life. You live and learn and then come up the other side a bit more wise. Live your life. But it's alright. Live your life. Like you got one night. Live your life. They'll give you hell, but don't you let them kill your life. Not without a fight. Live your life. I screwed up the ending, but I never played it before.
Beautiful, Bet.
Thank you.
What a great tune.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song, right?
You know, we have to wear masks in honor of him, and we have to really honor those lyrics and appreciate every moment that we have together on
That's
this
right.
planet, and do it the right way, do it the honorable way. And that's really beautiful.
Like you got one night. Live your life like you got one night. I love that.
Yeah, I know.
I intend to.
Listen, we will. In fact, we've encouraged everybody time and time again as we expanded this format to include talk as well as music. We just felt like it was really important to be talking about what the hell was going on, and to encourage all of us to stay connected and to pay attention. And wearing a mask is certainly certainly, a big part of it. It's actually, as I heard as we were going live tonight, that Biden is just saying as he perhaps becomes hopefully the president, that it's going to be mandated. It will be mandated that we wear masks. It's not that hard. It's not that inconvenient.
Well, if we did it in the beginning,
we'd save so many people's lives.
Well, then we'd have to start back at the beginning of the show, Janice. Yes, if you'd done it at the beginning, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Lauren, how are we doing?
Well, we did sell some tickets. What I will say is that we forgot to mention that we're offering the first 5 people of the show who pay for a $40 ticket, they do get an autographed flask from these 2 chicks, autographed. And Bet, look, I mean, who doesn't want an autographed flask?
Actually,
I've been shopping online for a flask. Actually,
oh my God! Well, we should send
all
you
right.
one.
Well, we've got one. For
I'll
you.
buy one for tomorrow night.
Yeah, we already have 5 winners from the
absolutely.
And
we have more winners for tonight. So we definitely have. I would just encourage everybody though to send us your positive feedback and
your money
that you are happy with what we're creating here. We also should let you know that part of the money that we raise, we're going to be donating this series. We're going to be donating to the Biden Harris
Yes
campaign. We're just going to do it. So I hope you're cool with that, because that's where every month we send to either Planned Parenthood or the Food Bank or Jazz Foundation, or
we sent them to Smalls Foundation. Yeah,
Smalls Foundation. This time it's just flat out. We're just going to say it. It's going right to Biden and Harris.
Yep.
And we want to send that message. And so a portion of that goes to them. And as always, a portion goes to the musicians and the people that help us produce the show tomorrow night. So we hope that you'll do so. And it does look like as if we have reached the point where we can have a shot if we'd like, ladies. Do you think that we should? I mean, I don't know.
What?
Is it? It's like, I think I might need to take my flag over there.
All right.
Hang on. Be right back.
All right. I'll do, as usual, since I don't drink tequila except for on the rare occasion.
I'd like to be invited to that rare occasion.
Listen, Janice, you were at that party when I had too much tequila. In fact,
if I was home, I'd be joining you in a Casamigos, but.
I do believe that I was at your home under your supervision when I had too much tequila.
I believe I have photographs, actually. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Bette.
I had such a blast. It was so much fun.
And please join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We have an amazing
tomorrow night
show. People, I mean, it's an international gumbo tomorrow night.
Antonio Sanchez and Tana, Alexa, Ryaton from Finland, Miko Shino and Kaichiro Kitamura from Japan, Ann Hampton Calloway from Tucson, Arizona, Penny Washington from Oakland, Alame Fernandez from Singapore, and Emma Sundvik is our young artist. We are not messing around, people. We have got a show for you, 8 o'clock. Be there or be.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. I'll be there.
I'll be there. Michael
Cheers,
Jackson.
my darlings.
Down the hatch.
Calling all around the world. Mumbo jumbo, stir up the gumbo. Calling all around the world. Get it. Start with a roux, that's me and you. Add the Holy Trinity. That's rhythm, chords, and melody. Come on now, add your spice. Tell your story, very nice. Calling all around the world. Stir that vocal gumbo now. Calling all. Stir it up. Get it.